Okay, so let's start. So I would just go with this course introduction. Hopefully you are able to see screen.
Yes.
Okay, so we will go with the course introduction. So in this course is introduction, we are just going to cover CCSA. This is Checkpoint Certified Security Administrator. Okay, and this is one of the certification from Checkpoint. So if we talk about Checkpoint, what is Checkpoint? So Checkpoint is a company which manufactures the firewall. So it's a vendor. They have the firewall product. Okay, so their firewall product have a different version, right? So I mean operating system version. So right now they are on R80 version. Okay, R80.10 2040, and that's why this CCSA certification is based on the R80 version. So this is R80 is nothing but this is a version of your operating system in which is using Checkpoint. If we talk about this particular course, okay, so this is a one of the certification. If you pass this certification, that means you have a great knowledge to manage the Checkpoint firewall. Okay, and this is the paper code 156-215.80. This is the paper code, and this is one of the exam. For that you have to pay $250. Okay, it's a 90-minute exam, and if you want to pass this, so you have to gain 70% of the score. So number of question would be 90, and this is the score. You can book this exam from Pearson VUE Center, like you book for Cisco CCNA, so you can book this exam from Pearson VUE Center. So this is the course, I mean CCSA certification. And apart from CCNA CCSE certification, you can go for the other one. For example, if you have done CCSA and you just want to follow the Checkpoint path, so you can go further for CCSE, where you would learn advanced things and you would get expertise on this. And after that, if you want to get mastery, so you can go for CCSA. So CCSA, after CCSA, CCSE, and then CCSM. So this is the whole path. There are other certification is also offered by the Checkpoint that you can go and pursue individually. Now, if we talk about the course outline, what we are going to cover over here. So we are going to cover from basic. For example, we will go and we will learn about introduction of Checkpoint technology. Okay, where we will learn what is Checkpoint. Okay, how it's a firewalling work. Okay, all those things we are going to learn. Then we will learn about deployment model. Okay, how we can deploy Checkpoint. Okay, so we will learn that. After that, we will learn security policy. What are the security policy? How you can create rules. So basically, like you create rule on your Cisco router. For example, you create ACL. Here we create a rule on the security policy packages. Then we are going to learn monitoring the traffic, how we can monitor the traffic. Okay, for example, let's say if you are sending data from A to B system, and you just want to monitor that on Checkpoint whether data is passing or not. Okay, whether particular port is blocked. Okay, so or not. So that how you would monitor that we are going to learn. How you can see the connections that we are going to learn. Then we will learn about netting, how we can perform netting on the firewall. So usually we do net on the firewall side, right? So we will learn about that, how we can do the netting as. Post that, we will understand how we can do the user management and how we can manage the authentication. So user management is very important here on the firewall. For example, if any user want to access any resources over the internet, first of all, that user has to authenticate. So we are going to learn here how user is going to authenticate. Okay, and what are the parameters we can set for the authentication. Post that, we will go and we will learn about Checkpoint VPN configuration. So between the firewall, how you can create a VPN. So that we are going to learn. So here we will learn side-to-side VPN and remote access VPN, both kind of VPN we are going to learn. Then we will learn about firewall technology, that is IDS, intrusion detection system and prevention system, that we are going to learn. Then we will learn about data loss prevention, URL filtering, etc. So firewall can provide many services. It can work as, it can do the traffic filtration, plus it can do the traffic inspection. So here we are going to learn about traffic inspection. So if there is any malicious traffic, yes, firewall would be able to drop that. For example, on the firewall, we can enable antivirus. Okay. So if there is any malicious site user is browsing, so firewall would be able to protect against those viruses that user is trying to download, or that is going to introduce download it into user computer. So we will learn here about URL filtering. Further, we will go and we will learn about the clustering. So here we will learn about high availability, how we can configure two firewall in the cluster, so that if one firewall is going down, so other firewall is going to take care of the traffic. So that's what we will learn here. Then we will learn about a smart update. So if you want to update or upgrade your Checkpoint firewall, for example, let's say in Checkpoint firewall, you have your operating system is running on R80.10, and now you just want to upgrade it on R80.20. So how we can do that? Okay, so all those things we are going to learn. Then we will learn about a smart license, where we will manage the license. For example, if you're required to install the license on this Checkpoint firewall or other gateway, so how you can do that? We will learn about smart licensing. That means if you want to activate your firewall licenses, so how you can do that we are going to learn. After that, we will go and we will learn about the command line interface, where we will see that what all the commands are useful. Okay, and how we can manage the things from command line, and up to what level we can manage the things from command line. So that we will learn, and further we will go and we will understand what are the common issue. Okay, that means known issue or most common issue we are going to learn over here, and further we will learn about the troubleshooting as well. So what should be the troubleshooting approach? For example, if someone is saying that data is not passing from A to B location, I mean, if you are already in this justice, so you know that the firewall is blocking the traffic. So how you would know that firewall is blocking traffic? Okay, and how you can troubleshoot. So that approach we will learn over here. There are other thing as well. So you can visit our website, and you can when you visit this website, you would get other course detail as well. So this is about course outline. Please let me know if you have any question.
No, got the outline.
Okay, great. Now move. Thanks. So let's move this. These are the firewall vendor, guys. We have a different vendor. Okay, and there are different firewalls. So we have SonicWall, Palo Alto, Juniper, Cisco, Fortinet. Okay, StoneSoft, Checkpoint, WatchGuard. These are the firewall vendor. These are the common vendor that you would see in the market. Okay, so we are going to learn the product of Checkpoint firewall, this vendor. Now, if we talk about the firewall type, we have different types of firewall. Okay, so one firewall is a host-based firewall that will be installed on the single computer. That means this is able to protect only single host. Okay, so you can take example of Windows firewall. This is a host-based firewall. Okay, and then we have, some antivirus is also providing firewall feature. If you talk about Linux machines, so they have the IP tables in Linux. So these are the host-based firewall that would be protect only single host. Okay, the other firewall we have network-based firewall. This is able to protect entire network. That means, let's say you have a different host over here, and you put a firewall over here. Okay, so these are nothing but these are hosts. So if you put firewall over here, right? So any host which is trying to access internet, they would be protected by this firewall. So this kind of firewall which you put over the network or in network, so that firewall is known as a network-based firewall. So in network-based firewall, there are different evaluation on the firewall, evolution on the firewall. So this network-based firewall you can deploy as a hardware, or you can install this on a virtual machine, or you can deploy on the cloud as well. Okay, so like you can purchase the hardware, you can just do the physical connectivity, and then you can configure the firewall. So that's a hardware firewall. Then virtual server you can deploy on the VMware as well. Okay, or you can deploy on the public cloud. So if you are using Azure, or if you are using AWS, so over there, these firewall you can deploy. So if your data center on Azure or AWS over the cloud, yes, you can deploy the firewall there as well. And there are different technology used by this particular these firewall nowadays. Okay, so nowadays we are using this kind of firewall, application aware firewall, which can work from all the layers, from layer 1 to layer 7. It can work on all the layer. But in old time there was a packet filter firewall. So it was just doing the packet filtering. That means if there is any traffic generated by source A to destination B, so that was packet filtering done by the firewall. So you can take example, simple ACL that you apply on a Cisco router. Okay, what it does basically that perform a packet filter. Okay, there you put traffic from IP address A to IP address B should be allowed or should be denied. So that all things is the packet filtering. Your Cisco ACL do not do the packet inspection, right? Okay, so earlier firewall was not doing any kind of packet inspection. That means whether the packet is malicious or not, that was not checked by the firewall earlier. Okay, then the stateful came into the picture. In stateful firewall was maintaining the state table. Okay, I mean connection table. So if the connection is initiated by A to destination B, okay, so reply is automatic apply. If the connection is initiated, so reply is automatic applied. I mean allowed. So this is why, because of the stateful inspection. Then another firewall came in the picture, okay, which is application aware firewall. So nowadays firewall is application aware. It's not only able to detect it's not only able to detect the traffic, but it's also able to understand that this traffic is for which application or generated by which application. Okay, so you can take example of Zoom call. So in Zoom call, I mean, when we talk about application aware firewall, so if the traffic I have generated using a Zoom application, so it would be able to understand this is the traffic of Zoom. Okay, and on that traffic, all the granular control firewall can apply. For example, on the firewall, if you just want to allow Zoom traffic for a chat only, so you can do that. And or if you just want to allow Zoom traffic for the call only, that you can do that. So now a firewall is very intelligent. It can work from layer 1 to layer 7 on all the layer. Okay, and this is able to understand the traffic pattern or traffic behavior as well, where you can apply granular control. So let's say someone came in your organization and ask you that you just want to allow Facebook, okay, for entire organization, but you don't want to allow posting, you don't want to allow chatting, you don't want to allow call. Like people should be able to browse the things on the Facebook, but they should not be able to do any chatting, because if they do chat, so they may leak the confidential information. So that is, earlier that was not possible. If you were using layer 3 firewall or this stateful inspection firewall, this was not possible. This functionality was not possible. But now the firewall is a more intelligent next generation firewall we have. So they are application aware. So nowadays the firewall intelligent, and you can apply granular filtering as well on the application. So this is the application firewall. So checkpoint is falling over here. This is application aware firewall, and it can work from layer 1 to layer 7. Okay. Further, we have another type of firewall, web application firewall. So this is the firewall which is capable to handle the web attack. So you might have heard about SQL injection, etc. Okay, this kind of attack you might have heard. So okay, so that can be protected by the web application firewall. Checkpoint do not have the capability, but your F5 ASM, Mod Security, PervoWeb have that kind of capacity. So those are the special firewall which would be protecting your web server or web application. Okay, any question?
So web application firewall are means physical firewall, or they are on?
You can deploy as a virtual machine, or you can deploy as a physical as well.
Okay.
So like if you know F5 product, okay, big IP F5. So F5 have a different module, LTM, GTM, and ASM. So you can enable ASM module on F5. So F5 box is physical hardware. So yeah,
Okay.
you can deploy that as well. I mean physical, and you can deploy as a virtual machine also.
Okay.
Now moving to next. Let's talk about what the firewall what protection is provided by the firewall. So firewall do provide different types of protection. So okay, these are some common protection that I have written over here, but there are a lot. Okay, so we will discuss in the course what all the others, but let's say these are the major protection is provided by firewall. Number one, mitigate unauthorized access. So if someone is trying to access your network in unauthorized manner, okay, so firewall would be able to protect against that. Okay, unauthorized access or trying to do remote login. So yes, firewall would be able to protect that. So let's understand what is unauthorized access. Let's say you have some network. This is server, and this is behind the firewall. This is firewall. Now firewall is connected over the internet. Okay, and server is accessing some of the resources on the internet. Okay, like you have exposed your server over the internet for some of the services. So server is trying to access, let's say this is nothing but this is a Linux server. So now this Linux service is trying to update itself. It's trying to download any upgrade packages from the internet, from the Red Hat server. So let's say this is nothing but this is a Red Hat. So from Red Hat website, it's trying to download some of the update. Now, when this is trying to download some of the update from Red Hat, so what you do, you just allow only authorized traffic. On the firewall, you would create a rule that if your server name is A, going to Red Hat for the update means it's going on port number 80 or 443, that should be allowed, and rest of the traffic A to any destination traffic should be denied. Okay, so you just allowing your authorized traffic over here. Okay, so if server is hacked or due to any reason this is trying to do any unauthorized activities, trying to go on any unauthorized destination. Okay, so that is not possible. So you allow only authorized traffic. Okay, so that authorized traffic is allowed. So by creating appropriate rule, you can mitigate unauthorized access. Okay. Remote login. If someone is trying to log in on your server remotely, trying to access the server using port number 22 SSH, or trying to, if you have Windows server doing 3389, trying to do RDP, so that is also not possible. Okay. The reason is on the firewall, you won't allow that kind of rule. Then spam. If someone is trying to send a spam email, let's say this server is not other server, but let's say this is Exchange server, and someone is trying to send a spam email or trying to send many emails, trying to do email bombing. So on the firewall would be able to detect those spam email, because on the firewall you have the module for email security, so you can enable that. And when you enable that, if someone is trying to do any email type of attack, okay, whether it's spam email or email bombing, where bulk email is someone is trying to send to exhaust the capacity of the server, so yes, firewall would be able to detect and block that. Someone is trying to do IP spoofing, someone trying to steal the IP, okay, to perform the man in the middle attack, to capture the packet what the this server is sending over the internet or over the network. If someone is trying to do that, okay, so that's if the firewall in between, so it is not possible. Firewall would be able to detect that this particular user or machine is trying to do man in the middle attack, and firewall is going to block that. Someone is trying to do DOS attack, trying to send multiple fake requests, okay, like ping, etc., so that it can utilize the network resources to make the service unavailable. So also that is not possible. Your firewall has a DDoS protection or DOS protection, so your firewall is going to block that. Someone's trying to do session hijacking, okay. Session hijacking means let's say there is any session is open over here, and same session someone is trying to steal and trying to use on his machines or her machine. So that is also not possible. Firewall in between, so it would be able to understand that this is a token is stealing, so firewall is going to block that particular IP or user. Someone is trying to exploit the vulnerability, okay. So vulnerability means weakness. Let's say this Linux system is pretty old, it is running on a 6.0 version, and in older system there are vulnerability, that means there is a weakness, okay. This is not on the latest patch set. So if someone is trying to exploit the vulnerability from the internet, that's not possible, because firewall is knowing that kind of attack and it would be blocked that. So these are the firewall protections. It is not only protecting against unauthorized traffic, but it can protect from other things as well.
Oh, yeah, got it.
Great.